let me post this direct link again, or just into that.
I think we're recording, so.
Okay. I don't see it recording yet.
Oh. Well, Amanda, can you record? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can record. I can do it. I have to request recording permission from you. Does it ask you for permission?
It says my internet connection's being kind of not stable, so I don't know why, but
let me hold on one second. Let me see if. How cool is this? You can raise your hand in here. That's pretty funny. Okay, now we're recording. I see it. Okay. So this is the Diamond Factory training Zoom call. Today is, what's the date? My phone doesn't show the date.
August 18th.
The 18th?
18th.
Yay, okay. I'm usually about 4 days off. The 18th. So we're just going to do kind of an open forum Q&A right now. But one thing we were just talking about, and we decided to go ahead and record, is that you can go through these trainings and you can train yourself to death. But the magic is not going to come from you just having the knowledge. The magic is going to come once you start implementing what you're learning in this training. So we were just kind of laughing about how I will jump into anything and not really research it and not figure out how it's going to work. I just do it because I'm a very sapphire ruby personality. I'm a horrible note taker. I'm horribly unorganized. And I make a lot of mistakes because I just jump into things, but I jump in. If I realize I've made a mistake or I'm doing it wrong, I can quickly fix it because I'm already in the throes of doing whatever it is. And then there are other people, and I was calling out Megan because she's my personally sponsored coach and I can call her out, is super organized and a fantastic note taker and sets goals and objectives to hit each goal and has a timeline and everything is very thorough. And I wish I could buy part of her brain. And she's saying sometimes she gets hung up on the implementation part. So you have to find that happy medium between the two. And I think we were joking at Summit that Linda, who's another one of the leaders in this group, she's not on tonight, but she and I are very similar in our Ruby Sapphire personalities. If we see a cliff and a body of water at the bottom, we will just run and jump. And someone like Megan would be like, do you know how deep the water is? Are you safe? And we're like, we'll let you know when we get there, like as we're falling off the cliff. So you have to, not that that's the best way to be at all, because it's not, because it could be 2 feet of water and that's not good. And then we all die. So you have to find that happy medium. You have to force yourself to do a part that maybe it doesn't come natural to you, which for me is note taking. And then for the note takers, you have to force yourself to do some of the implementation that might not come naturally. So you guys can freely talk during this call, but where are you guys finding yourself hung up at a certain point, or what are you getting from this training, and what do you need help with? Anyone can jump in. Who has the 3 kids? You can unmute yourself. We love having kids on here too. Do you want to go first? Let me see. I think whoever, Kyla, I think you might have to unmute her. Or Brittany, do you want to go? Liv, Darla, Megan.
Sure. I'll start. I've just put together a Facebook post for my sneak peek. So I'm starting that next week. So I put it out there, haven't really got any feedback yet, but I think I'm going to send an invite to all my like people on my page and go from there. I don't know, any tips on starting that? This will be my first sneak peek. I actually asked my sponsor coach to come in and help me, and so she's gonna be a part of it as well. So
that's awesome. And who is your sponsor coach?
Shayla Nicolishin. She's under Laurel.
Okay. Okay. And so you guys you all know how big the pot is, right? Like, are you guys driven by that at all with this particular training? Or are you guys just in it mostly for the training? Because I think if we know kind of what you're in it for too, we can help better support you, don't you think?
You know what? To admit to being pushed for the pot, that's going out of my comfort zone, and maybe I need to say that what I should be aiming for, I guess.
And some people aren't. Like, I've had I have to very clear that recognition or money or rank advancement or walking on stage is not going to do it for her. And that's just not what she's driven by. And that's totally what I was driven by. Somebody said, your name could be up on, in lights on stage at Summit. And I was like, score, I'm going to be diamond. That's all I needed. Probably because I come from a theater family, and like having your name in lights was always like this metaphor in my family, but it was actually going to come true. That was the push I needed, but we all get pushed by different things. So I didn't know if most of you were in here for that or not.
I wouldn't feel guilty for saying that you're, in it for that too, just because, incentives like that do help. And, at first when you're coaching, you feel weird sort of offering things like that, but people, like Amanda was saying, some people are driven by that. And I know our coach, my personally sponsored coach, Lindsay Matley, she had a group where we pushed for signing up so many coaches within like a month. And I thought, honestly, I would never do that. But, you kind of push a little harder. I did personally, it seemed like, and I ended up getting there, which is great. But I don't know, I think you just kind of go outside your comfort zone a bit more too when there's something on the line like that.
I think
so.
Oh,
go ahead, Megan.
I was just gonna say I'm not driven by the pot. I am kind of driven, and I'm not sure if it's part of this, by the fact that I know there were a lot of you who are the diamonds leading this who went through this mastery class and had the super cool Diamond Factory shirts. And rocking a shirt like that at Summit is something that I would love. But I wanted to be in an environment where there were other people who were just wanting to push themselves out of their comfort zone, the way that manifests. And so that's what I guess, for the camaraderie. Like Miguel was saying, the big secret to Beachbody is the community. It's not the program, it's not Shakeology, it's the community. Mm-hmm. And if, I don't sign a single coach during the time that I'm in here, which is unlikely because I'm talking to 2 today when I haven't talked to any for months as far as prospects. Just being in this environment with these people, being you guys, is what I'm wanting to get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What about the rest of you? Why are you here? What are you getting out of the training? What hangups do you have? Those are kind of the questions on the board right now. So feel free to jump in, anyone. Hey, Ashley. Hey, everybody who joined us that we didn't say hey to already.
I think that everybody can, when you want to speak, do you have a mute button at the bottom left of your screen that you can just unmute yourself? I think it's just as easy as that if you guys want to talk, but.
Ashley, you want to chime in? Since I can call out people I know.
I'm sorry, I hopped on late, so I'm not sure.
So the questions that are just kind of out there, and it's just kind of an open forum, but like, what are you getting for, are you getting something from this training? Do you feel like it's valuable information? Do you feel like there's any hangups or anything that you need help being guided through, like certain topics? And are you here for the money? That sounds horrible, but what is your drive? Like, are you driven by the fact that that there's a big pot of gold at the end of the rainbow if you rank advance? Or Megan was saying, like, she's here because she wanted to be in a group of people who are pushing to move forward, not necessarily for the pot.
I guess I'll chime in. Oh, go ahead, Ashley, go ahead.
Sorry. I was like, where do I meet? But I guess to be honest, I'm on catch up. I don't know what happened initially, but Andy asked me, he was like, have you started doing the diamond stuff? I'm like, I don't know. As far as I know, I'm not in the group. I thought maybe you decided you didn't want us to run for diamond. But anyway, so I think he added me to the group on Sunday. So I'm doing catch up, but I am caught up to today's stuff, and I'm enjoying what I'm listening to, and I'm getting a lot from it. I just gotta find the time to start implementing and creating some of the stuff so I can start posting.
Gotcha.
But I would have to say I'm probably not motivated by the pot, just because. I mean, I that's not why I got in here. I don't think I'm gonna advance just to win a pot. I just want to advance in this business to build our team. And Andy and I have been sitting at Emeralds for 3 years, so it'd be nice to finally move. Mm-hmm. So I'm just hoping that we can both commit some time to make that happen.
Okay. And how many coaches do each of you have?
We both have about, I guess, total about.
Now Taylor's under you, right?
I think 10 total. Like Andy said, if we wouldn't both be coaches, then one of us would already be diamond. But it's just that him and I are splitting coaches between the two of us, so it's taken us a lot longer to get anywhere. Right. But I couldn't imagine wanting to build this business any other way than with him, so we'll just do it that way. It just may be a little slower.
And there might be some strategizing you could do with Linda, like if it makes more sense to make. Is he the top of your?
Yes.
Above you, right? And then Taylor's below you. It might make sense to advance him, like the next few coaches go under him so that he can hit diamond and then focus on you hitting diamond. And but Linda might, because she can see your whole downline, might give you some strategies to help make that happen. And it might actually happen faster if you do it that way.
Right.
But she would know better to see that.
Amanda, I was going to say Amber Lee was going to talk, I think, there for a second. She's my PS coach. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Amberly, what's up? Your turn.
Sorry about that. I'm very sweaty too, so I apologize. I think I kind of agree with the other girls. I feel like the pot is kind of like the icing on the cupcake at the end, but it's totally about learning from everybody else that's already, like, for people leading the group, learning from them, and all these little tips and hits and just surrounding yourself in a community that feels like it's a concentrated approach. So I feel like I'm immersed in it, and I'm always thinking about it, whether I'm caught up on assignments or not. But I think that's the biggest driver for me, is being in the group and learning from that group, and then seeing how much consistency and the vital behaviors really does pay off. But yeah, the pot is just icing. It'd be awesome. I think more getting the rank and seeing where I can take this business is kind of my driver behind this. I really want to make this thing for my life and for my family to be, and for my boyfriend and I, like, this is definitely something that I'm 100% behind. So I think learning in an immersed group like this, and I think I'm really looking for team, like success partners, people just to really have in your back pocket to talk to or vent to, like Jessica was talking about last night on the bombshell call, and that really hit home for me, having somebody not just to plan with, but to vent to when you're struggling. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be a key thing too, because my boyfriend's great and I love him, but he doesn't get the whole thing yet. So I think I need somebody more, instead of always venting to Kyla, because that's a big pain in her butt. So
Amberly, I actually have somebody in mind for you, so we'll talk after the call.
Yay. The other thing for us too is, or for me, a tracking document. I have like 4 notebooks going. I feel like I'm always missing the one that I want to have on when I'm thinking of something and how I organize it. And then I saw on Jessica's call last night that she talked about a tracking system, and then I don't know if I missed it or if it just got cut off too soon, and I was actually going to message her today and see what she actually does for tracking. But if you guys have any suggestions on how you track who you've talked to? Like, are you using printouts of the batch sheet, or are you using an Excel sheet? And I've started using Asana, but I feel like duplicating things more than just actually record keeping in one spot.
Are you talking about tracking like your challengers and coaches, or are you talking about tracking your progress in your business?
Both. I think contacts primarily, where, you know, like Kyle had mentioned this in one of our own team calls once, where it's like I'm scrolling back through Facebook to see who I've talked to in the Facebook messages, and I have a notebook where I've talked to them, but it's not really organized into, because, you know, the conversations go on for about 3 weeks, and then I lose track of who I need to follow up with all the time. Like, I don't know if there's a magic system, or I just have to be more organized. But
yeah, I am not the one to offer any tips on organization, but I do have a really good tracker for tracking your business. So basically the categories are like, did you do your personal development each day? How many how many workouts you did that week? How many days you drank your Shakeology? So you're just doing check marks basically for your vital behaviors. And so you can see sometimes when you've slacked in your personal development, maybe you're like different things are shifting. You can kind of watch it throughout over the weeks, but every Thursday we would update them. How many customers you have, how many coaches you have in your total downline, how many emeralds you have in your left leg, how many emeralds you have on your right leg, how much you made doing, you know, in this category or in this category. So it's much more of a business just for you, but it helps to kind of track your progress and see, you know, how many Facebook friends you have, how many Instagram followers you have. And when you see that you've added 100 Facebook friends this 1 week, and then for the next 4 weeks you didn't add any, like, you can see that's something I need to work on, because I added a bunch this week and that was great, but then my number stayed the same for 4 weeks straight. So I'm clearly not working on expanding my network. So having that was really helpful to me. But as far as customers, I'm not organized in that sense at all. But
for me,
people are.
Yeah, for me, like in tracking customers, I basically am a pen and paper person. Like, I will keep a whiteboard of stuff written down about prospects and things like that. And otherwise, I just, like Amberly said, I just keep a notebook and, you know, tab it off for, you know, team call notes or just other, you know, coaches that I want to get in touch with or anything like that. And customers, I'll just write their name down, and it gets kind of messy, but I mean, I know how to interpret it, so that's all that matters, I guess, right? But I mean, everybody's different. Computers are very organized as well, but it's kind of whatever you work well with. So, but I can try to find something more if you're more of a computer person, like the best, you know, type of way that way to keep track. I know you were talking about, what is it, Asana, right? That you liked, Amberly, but maybe you're not really into that anymore.
I like it, but I feel like I'm writing all down in a notebook, and then when I get time to enter it into Asana, I feel like I'm duplicating. I feel like if I just really organize my notebook, that'll probably be the best thing, because then it's in my purse and I take it to work, or I take it on the road, or then it's always there, and I don't always have to log into something and like copy and paste Facebook messages over. It just doesn't really make sense anymore. I like the concept of it. I just don't think I'm on the computer enough or accessing it enough to make it work. I think a notebook would be best.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're more of a pen and paper person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I haven't watched this in a while, but when I first started coaching, I had a lot of time on my hands because I was not working full time. And I made a video of my whole organization system. I haven't watched it in a year or so, but I'm going to post it in the comment section for the team call. So if you want to check that out.
I would like hire her to take notes for me. At Summit, I was like, did you get that? Did you write that down in your notes? Because she sat next to me for everything. Do you want me to tell you what they said so you can write it down? Thanks, Megan. So far in this last week and a couple of days of training, is there anything that's really stood out to you, like been an aha, I had no idea, or mind blown moment from any of the videos? And you guys can comment in the, let me read these. Getting ready to do a sneak peek as well. I've been a coach for 2 weeks, so I'm learning so much once. I'm trying to get everything going. My biggest struggle is getting coaches that are not discount coaches. You've been a coach for 2 weeks. Wow. And you're in this training. Welcome. It's pretty kick-ass. Good for you. I have a potty mouth. I'm sorry if there are kids around. I mean, it's like Megan, I have to have people working for the same goal, not in it for the pot. Oh, not in it for the pot, but it is the icing for the effort. No, Mike. That's Heidi. Okay, no problem. Live mostly for the training, not much for the pot, mostly for the training. Awesome. Darla. I can call her out too because she's my coach.
I keep trying to unmute myself. It won't work.
Have you had any aha moments or any of this training, like something you didn't realize or that was explained in a new way that you better absorbed?
Well, I think with me that I'm one of the ones that takes a lot of notes. And I just need to, I don't know what the missing connection is, that goes from, I know all this stuff and I'm gaining so much knowledge and I have to put it out there. And I don't know why I freak out. I mean, I literally just have this moment where I go, I can't do this. And I have to get past it. I know I do. And so there's been a lot of the training work, sometimes some of the things that, is said, it's like they make it look so easy. Why isn't it for me? I don't know if it makes any sense or not.
It does. It's because it's hard. Different things are easy for different people and some things are really hard for some people. I think because I don't know. Sometimes when there's something really hard for me, I have to realize that the reason I'm letting it slide, like you guys, I'll be the first to admit, personal development is my downfall. I've been so good the last few weeks. I've been listening to it when I walk or when I run. I've been really, really being better about it. But I'll be honest, for 3 years, I would get through like the first 2 pages of a book. And I'm not a reader. I was not making it a priority, and I would let it slide because I'm the only one that I have to answer to. But if I say, okay, Amanda, pretend you're back in school and you have to do this. This is part of your grade. This is your assignment. Somebody's going to be checking in with you to see, did you do it? Someone else is going to be checking on it, and you have to answer to them. And if not, then you fail or whatever. You get a big old fat 0. So sometimes I have to trick myself into a different mindset where I'm not the only one that knows what's happening. So you know what the assignment is, Darla. And for those of you who are stuck on the implementation part, you know what the assignment is. You know you have to do it. The only thing holding you back is you. You're the only person that's getting in your own way. But you're allowing yourself to get in your way because you're the only one you have to answer to. Because this is your business. You make of it what you want to make of it. And because you don't have to answer to anybody, you're the only one that that has to live with that decision. So if you really want to fight past that, maybe it worked for me. Maybe try and put yourself in a mindset where you have to do this. It's an obligation. There's a bad thing that's going to happen if you don't, or, somebody's going to be checking and this is your assignment, period, end of story. It's not doing it's not an option, and just do it. What's the worst that can happen? After an hour, no one responds. You get so embarrassed and you delete it. But at least you put it out there, It's like when I found, go ahead.
No, I was going to just ask, is there anything specific that you're finding trouble with, or is it kind of just the whole process in general, or?
I don't know, because I've put some things out there and put sneak peek things, and it's like crickets, so no one will show up. No one will respond. And you think, okay, I just put that out there and it didn't work. But I'm not the first one and I won't be the last one. And I know that. But I think it's like I'll get all this momentum. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump off the cliff. I'm not going to look at the water. I'm not going to ask the depth. I'm just going to run and do it. And then I fall flat in my face and I go, okay, what did I do? So I need to implement more knowledge and get a bunch of things lined up before I do it again. I think maybe it's confidence and I just need to man up. Does that make sense? I just need to man up and do it. And the videos and the training is so awesome. And you go, I can do this. And you run outside with your pom-poms and there's nobody there. And so it's like, people you talk to you know, I've had some people say, you know, I want to, you know, sign up for the customer, I want to be a coach, and you're like, okay, I'm doing this, and then nothing happens. So
well, I don't think I think that you have to change your concept of nothing is happening or nothing happens, because what did happen is seeds were planted and your harvest is being cultivated. I'm not a farmer, so I don't really know all this. But like something's happening between the planting and the growing, whatever that middle step is, that's happening. I just signed up a coach who's been my challenger for 2 years and was like, and I just said, hey, if you want to be a coach and get the discount, because I know you love Shakeology. And she didn't, this was years ago, and she wasn't all about that. And now she wants to at least do it for the discount. But day one after I announced her, she's already got people interested. And she was like, Amanda, I should have done this at least for the discount. I should have listened to you the first time. But she knew that about the opportunity 2 years ago. And she's been watching me to see if I stuck with it, to see how people were responding, to see if I stayed positive, to see what it was doing in my life before she could make a decision for her life. So you've planted the seeds and things are happening. So I think you have to let go of the idea that nothing happens.
That's so true, Amanda, because I forget where I saw this actually recently, but somebody had posted that it takes about 5 contacts before you even, make any headway with people in terms of signing, up for a challenge pack or whatever. They, don't expect your first contact to just go, great with flying colors, because it does take time. And like Amanda said, it takes planting seeds and being like, I can't even say this to my team enough. Consistency is such a huge part of the business. If you are going to be posting for sneak peeks, posting for coach, like training groups, challenge groups, you need to just follow through with it, follow up with people, because they need to see that you're consistent and to trust you. Because how do they know that it's not just another like fitness fad that you're doing, that lots of people do, and that you'll just be done with it in a month? Like, people need to watch you and trust you before they're going to sometimes jump on board. Some people are really quick at doing that and, go all in, but some people just need to take time and step back and watch you, and you'd be surprised, how many people come around in the end or a few months after you've initially contacted them. So try not to get too down, because it does take time.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
And you've come out of your cocoon recently, Darla. So I think there's been a lot of preparation in your cocoon for a while, and I think you're finally starting to come out of that in this beautiful butterfly. And so people are going like, oh my gosh, look at this butterfly. Let me check out this butterfly and like watch and not re-meet you because you're the same person, but understand where you are, because where you are now is very different than where you were 6 months ago,
Oh yeah, it is. And I need to, like, the personal development, I adore personal development. Matter of fact, I spend probably too much of my day in it. And it came up because I've gotten, and Amanda knows this, and for those who don't know, I've jumped head foot into Periscope, and there is so much on there. You literally can lose hours. You got to be careful. But one thing they said was, you have to make sure, one of the personal developments, they're like, you have to make sure that people know who you are, and you brand yourself in a way that, someone won't be confused about who you are and what you are. Because in my mind, I'm like, I'm pretty clear, but I don't think I am. But, people who do know me now, they're like saying, well, we know that you're pretty, you're pretty with fitness. We're like, we know you're all about fitness. We know you're all about eating clean and doing some things. We don't know what else you do, but that's all you do. So I don't want to be known as just a Beachbody coach. I want to be known for somebody who's actually going to give a a darn about people's health. They really want to know. I had a friend of mine from high school actually say, I'm making a point to read your posts and see what you're doing, and I have been for the last year. She goes, I know I sound creepy. She's like, I don't want you in a romantic way, but she's like, I'm watching everything you're doing. And I was like, that was the best thing you could have said to me today. So, I do want you to know that, I am serious about this. This is not just a Beachbody job. It's what I said in some other post. I said, Beachbody is the vehicle that I have chosen to go down this road with.
Right.
Nothing else has changed.
Right. And I think that's really, you know, being unapologetically you and being authentic and being true to who you are and letting people see that is huge. And that's what people trust, because we all 9 of us that are on here right now, we all have the exact same product to offer.
Yeah.
We all have the exact same kind of challenge group. We probably share similar scripts. Let's team up and do it together. So what's to have somebody choose me or choose any of you on this call or listening to the recording? What are you offering that's going to make yourself stand out? And it's not your connections. It's not whose team you're on. It's who you are, and can people connect with you? And people can't connect with you unless you're being you, you know? And let's see, Liv was just saying that people are noticing her posts and saying stuff regularly. It's amazing paying attention. Exactly. I had somebody comment in my first year of coaching that just my little, like, I probably was copying quotes. Like I had a quote reminder on my phone, or I had a quote calendar or something. I was not even being so original that I was coming up with something awesome to say, but something was speaking to me and I was sharing it. And so every day I would post a little quote on my thing every morning. And she said that for a year, my quotes help her get through like the most horrible divorce. And I was like, it wasn't even fitness related. It's just you being a good person and trying to send light and positivity out into the universe, and people are drawn to that. So you're doing great, Darla. You're doing all the right things. You just keep doing it, and it's going to keep drawing people in. And that goes for everybody, not just Darla.
Heidi just commented that she gets discouraged sometimes because nobody comments on her posts, but as she runs into them or meet them for coffee or things like that, they have so many questions. You know, yeah, and that's the thing. Not everybody is going to like your posts. People, you know, Facebook is such a scrolling. People don't always stop to like or comment on your posts. But, you know, you have to know that they are seeing you and they're watching you. And another thing is that unless you're asking people, you know, like if you agree, or, you know, giving them a reason to like it or comment on it, if you're asking them questions, sometimes people don't just freely comment or share your stuff or like your stuff. You know, if you say, like I said, like if you agree or feel free to share, you know, some people are like, oh, thanks, like I'll share that. And they might have felt like they couldn't share before because it's your, you know, your info or whatever. But if you straight out ask people, they usually will like it or share it or comment. So, and like I said, people are seeing it even though they aren't commenting. It's hitting a whole bunch of eyes, so try not to worry too much about that.
And one thing that gets the attention up on your Facebook, so the more you're interacting with other people's Facebook posts, not just liking it, but actually commenting on their posts, and having conversations with people, Facebook will start showing your posts in their newsfeed more regularly. And one thing I do sometimes, probably a few times a week, I guess, is I do a stupid random, like, what's your favorite movie? And everybody has an opinion on what their favorite movie is. And so I'll get 50 people commenting right away because that's something that they can have an opinion on. I'm not asking do you want to get in shape? Do you want to lose weight? What's your favorite muscle? That's for fitness people or for people who are thinking about fitness right now. But, what did you have for breakfast? Or should the toilet paper roll outward or under? Everybody has a comment on which way is the correct way for toilet paper to roll. So if you ask very random things like Monday poll or Facebook poll, people will start commenting more, and that will improve your affinity on Facebook in their news feeds. So I would kind of regularly do, I have some coaches that do every day, Manic Monday, I can't remember what they all are, but they have a silly, Freaky Friday, but they have a little crazy poll or random question every day. And that gets the action moving on their Facebook more, so that when you do post something that's, more geared towards fitness or something, it's going to show up in their feed, and maybe they'll feel more comfortable responding. Just an idea. All right, let's see. I did a YouTube video of my why and showed them my passion and the real me. It reached out to so many people. So many people told me how much I inspired them and touched them. That's awesome. Ashley says, Andy and I have been consistent being a product of the product, but have failed with sharing the coaching opportunity except with the challenges. Oh my goodness. That's so easy to do. It's so easy to ask people and invite people to your challenge group because that's just really comfortable for most coaches, is saying, hey, I'm starting a group. Do you want to be in it? I'm starting a fitness challenge. Who wants to, join me? But to say, hey, I have had this incredible opportunity that's allowed me to be home with my daughter, build a business all of my own. I don't have to ask for time off. I don't have to, worry about anything. It's just me. Do you want to come do this business too? That's so hard for so many people. And if we put the amount of focus into finding coaches as we do into finding challengers, what a different network we would have, right? I think our teams would look so differently, because I can ask 500 people if they want to be in my challenge group, but I have a hard time asking 500 people if they want to be coached. Do any of you guys have that problem too? I don't want to call it a problem. Have that wall there.
I think it would be easier if you were a diamond or a higher ranked, or showing that you make more income, where being new to Emerald, you're not making the income, or I don't know, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to ask when you don't really have the experience under you.
Yeah. I saw a video, I think Lindsay Stay did it once, where she answered that question, and it was something to the effect of, I'm just starting out in this business and I would love to have you by my side so we can take it to the top together.
That's good.
That kind of perspective where you're like, hey, I'm not at anywhere near the top of the rung, but I'm getting there. I'm going to race and I'm going to get there. And I'm so excited because I have these great mentors and I have this great opportunity in front of me. We control this opportunity, and I would love to have some people joining me so we can all hit the top together.
That's a good idea. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, thank you.
And talking about what your goal is, where do you see yourself in a few years? And that's where you want to go. Do you want to work for the next 30 years until you can retire, or do you want to work your butt off for the next 4 years so that you can be at a place where you can retire your spouse, you can be home with your children, you can, and all by helping other people. If you put the emphasis on what you're actually doing and not so much where the money's going to be, or I'm going to be a billionaire in 5 years, but that you're able to spend time with your family and cherish those memories just by helping other people and doing it, doing something you love and you're passionate about. I don't know, focus on that angle maybe.
And
that's good. Thank you.
And Brittany, also feel free to share little successes, I paid off this bill, or I, paid for part of my mortgage, or covered even my shakes and products or whatever. Because, what is your goal might be different than what someone else is aspiring to pay off, or, income wise or whatever. So don't disregard those small, I don't know what you're making for income. It doesn't really matter, but whatever you can pay off or afford to do, definitely share those little things, because it might be a big deal to other people and is a big deal to you, so.
Yeah. So if you get $300 in a month and that pays your car payment, you can be like, thank you, Beachbody. Take a picture with your car. Thanks, Beachbody. You're totally paying for my car. It doesn't mean you got this pink, Cadillac from Mary Kay, all courtesy, but in essence, Beachbody is paying for your car if you're making enough to cover your car payment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that car payment could be what's breaking the bank for some people. If they could just get that much to pay for their car payment, they would be okay. And
do I have an amen with that one?
Yeah, and knowing that that's possible, or Beachbody paid my mortgage, or Beachbody just bought all my daughter's back to school clothes. So that was one, and that's a huge financial nightmare that a lot of parents go into back to school season going, oh my God, I've got a $200 bill coming up just to get these darn clothes and all the school supplies. And for me, this time of year has always been so stressful because I have to pay for dance. I have to pay for her choir. I have to pay for back to school clothes. I have to pay for all the supplies. I have to enroll her in our after school camp or whatever I have to do. And it's a huge $1,000 right now, tomorrow, And to know that that could all be taken care of just from my coaching for the past couple weeks, or this week, or the last summer, it's taken care of this one bill or this one chunk of bills, could be the stress relief that a lot of moms really need.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about the little things. That's a really good point. Ashley, don't be annoying like those recruiters. You just be you and have fun with it. Go ahead, Megan.
I was just going to say, and I know there's not a right or wrong way to share Beachbody in general, but I also think, especially as coaches who might not have that income to talk about, you can certainly do those little things like you were talking about that make a big difference for a lot of people. But also, like, speaking for myself, when I was a challenger, I was really engaged. I was so focused on myself. But as a coach, I have more drive for my own health and fitness journey because I'm motivating other people. That's, being a coach helps me for my health. Being a coach connects me to this community of people that has transformed my social life and enhanced me as a person internally, just like you were talking about with Darla. And I think talking about what coaching offers in a non-tangible is also really beneficial. Not that that's something that you only talk about, but that's something that all of us have our own story to share in regards to.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
Does anybody else have any other questions that we should address before? It's about 7:45, I guess 9:45 your guys' time, but.
Anybody else have anything, or you guys feel good from this meeting? And they're all going to be different, all of these calls. So we'll have them the next few Tuesdays. But it's all just going to be kind of what you've gotten from the training, how you're feeling, what you're having any issues with or need some guidance or a push. So my challenge to all of you on the call and all of you listening to the call, and if you want to give another challenge after this, you can, is identify if you're getting stopped or if you're stopping yourself from between the training and the implementation. There's an invisible wall for a lot of people. That wall was there for me with personal development, and I just didn't care because nobody needed to know. And my success partner was the only one that knew, and she rags on me all the time. You've got to do some personal development. I was like, I don't want to. It's too depressing. She's like, seriously, you need some personal development. But if you're the only one that knows, or just your success partner knows, then it's really nobody else is holding you accountable to it. But you have got to pull yourself up, and you've got to get over that barrier. So identify, be really honest with yourself. Identify if you are allowing there to be a barrier between what you're learning, because you all are getting a lot of great training, and probably a lot of it you know already. You're just hearing it in a different way. But you're not doing it. So you're not getting to the other side with the implementation. So identify what your holdup is and force yourself to the other side. And next Tuesday when we come back on this call, I would love to hear you guys say, I did something so crazy, but I knocked down the wall and I did the one thing. Just one thing. Make one big change.
Yeah, definitely. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is a huge thing. And I mean, I'm kind of more introverted, and things like that scare the heck out of me. But I mean, it's something that you have to just do. And it really, it feels good to do something that you're scared of, or that you felt like is holding you back in the business. It feels good to kind of break through that barrier, and you end up being super proud of yourself because you actually did it. And I know all of you can do whatever you put your mind to do and tell yourself you're going to do. So don't be scared. Like Amanda said, don't put barriers up and blocks to, restrict how well you can do, because you guys are all awesome and you'll do whatever you set your mind to. So.
Exactly. All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll stop the recording and we'll let you guys get back to your lives. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good week, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.